दर्शक बंधु कैंडिड इंटरफेस को स्वागत। आज आम गहण अच्छी प्रोफेसर अरुण रथ, सी जड़े फॉर्मर यूनियन सेक्रेटरी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया। श्री रथ आम स्टूडियो को आपन को स्वागत। नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
आज आमर टॉपिक कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस। कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस एक बहुत बढ़िया गोटे विषय, तापर आम आलोचना करवा। श्री रथन को आमर प्रथम प्रश्न है, व्हाट डू वी अंडरस्टैंड बाय कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस?
नमस्कार, धन्यवाद अशोक बाबू। कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस बेसिकली मीन्स हाउ ए corporation or a company is directed and controlled. Why the need arises? The need arises because the investors and the shareholders form a company by investing their own money, and they expect that the company will give them return on their investment. The way the company is governed would decide about the safety of the funds of the shareholders and return on the investment. At the same time, there are many stakeholders of the company who have not invested money, but they are very important contributors to success of the company, like our society, environment, the employees.
Right.
Many stakeholders are there who have not given money, but they are contributing to the growth of the company. So stakeholders' interest must also be protected by the company. So governance would look into the growth of the money of shareholders, one. At the same time, protect the interest of the stakeholders. So both purposes are important when you govern the company, and how you govern the company are going to ultimately result in the return to the investors and safety of their fund and safeguarding the interest of all the stakeholders, including society, the environment and the employees of the company. So this basically is the purpose and objective of corporate governance.
Wonderful. Very nicely said. Now what I would like to ask you, you will definitely appreciate that corporate governance was there very much. I don't say it was not there. But in the today's business environment, corporate governance has become all the more important. That is why I would like to ask you, what is the significance and how is it important for a company?
Basically, the scandals, scams, malpractices in the companies, often done by the top management and the employees, these are the root causes of the challenges of governing a company.
Acha, you mean to say these are the challenges for corporate governance?
Yeah, because the stakeholders and the shareholders want that money must be safe and must grow.
Right.
Now, when there is a scam, like it is a case of Maxwell Communication or Enron or Satyam or so many scams in India,
right,
the money is lost and that is not to be done.
Right.
If money is not safe, people won't invest money in the company.
Right.
Therefore, you must have very strict laws, but more than that, implement those
implementing the stringent laws is still more important.
More important.
Yeah, okay, that's very important. Okay. Another one little thing which I would like to ask you is, is CSR part of corporate governance? Because in CSR also there are a lot of norms, rules, regulations which the government has, put on the companies, and so do you think CSR is a part of corporate governance?
CSR is essential part of good corporate governance. A company which is good, I told you the stakeholders are society, environment and many other stakeholders.
Right.
Now when the company is getting well governed, one of the primary duties is to do social good.
Absolutely.
When they earn profit, a company is bound to earn profit. Without profit, there is no company. So therefore, business must end up in earning profit. But profit is not the end of a company. Profit should be leading to a social good, because society has given all that you get is societies, whether it's the mine or the raw material or the land. Even the employees are social creations.
Yeah, ultimately it comes from the society only.
Comes society only. So society must get something back from the company. Therefore, CSR is essential ingredient of good governance.
Wonderful.
If company is not well governed, they don't bother for society. But if it is well governed, one of the essential parts is how to give back to society something or part of something that you have taken from society.
Wonderful. Another thing, which really comes to my mind is, you superannuated as the Union Secretary in the Government of India. As an administrator, and you must be having a lot of experiences in life. Could you share one or two of that in the interest of our viewers? I'm sure they'll be ecstatic to hear from you.
Thank you, Ashok Babu. In fact, there are many experiences. I have been always championing the cause of ethics, good governance, honesty during my 36 years of service. The biggest challenge that I faced and solved is getting the right to education implemented. Now, right to education, as you know, is one of the big challenges that the Government of India faced while getting a law. Unfortunately, you needed huge money, huge investment. Unfortunately, in India, sometimes I feel I'm little caustic about it. But I feel that we as a nation talk about education, but give a lip service to education.
Right.
Because in terms of investment of money, we say we don't have budget for education, even health. Now, I was Secretary, Government of India. I took up as a challenge that right of children to free and compulsory education as a fundamental right in Article 21 must be done. And that was the time when I had the biggest challenge we faced. I had to really go from place to place. Although I was Secretary to Government of India, but I had to really
implementing was no easier task.
And meet people and champion the cause of right to education.
Great.
That was the biggest challenge. And ultimately, the great satisfaction that I get is that I succeeded in getting this right for the children of India. And it's now a constitutional right of every child of the country.
Wonderful. So I'm sure this is a very great achievement of yours, and not only yours, but I should say people at large, because right to education is a fundamental right now, and it is so different to what it was earlier. Thank you so much in this regard. Now another one little thing I would like to ask you is, you will appreciate that what you are today must be because of some inspiration which you have received, maybe from your parents, maybe from your teachers, maybe from your friends. Could you just tell us who has been your inspiration to what you are today?
I think I will give the credit to my parents, my father, my mother, who are very idealistic. They really inspired me in the formative years of my life. Then I would say my school teachers. I was really impressed by their dedication, their commitment towards me and towards the students, towards education. So my parents, my teachers, and later in life, I should say, honestly, I was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda. These are the source of inspiration that I get, and all through I keep in mind what I learned from them, and these are inspiring me throughout my entire life.
Okay. Now when we come to school, do you think any of your teachers has impressed you so much that you feel like emulating him or her?
Yes, very much. My headmaster, the headmaster of my school, where I was studying in Mayurbhanj, in Baripada, he was a role model for me. He loved me and I also loved him also. and he always inspired me to do excellent things in life. And I think what I am today, I would ascribe to the idealism of my school headmaster in Baripada.
Very much, very much. Now, another thing I would like to ask you is, we understand you evince a lot of interest in training, teaching in big organizations, in colleges, in universities, in institutes. Since that has been a big motivating factor for you, not only you feel motivated, but you also motivate others. I would just like to ask you one thing. As you know, since you are in education, I would like to ask you, what are the two major initiatives you feel you are very much impressed in the new education policy of the Government of India?
No, the greatest plus point that I find in the new education policy is the preschool education. Now, just to inform my audience is that the NEP has made preschool going to be it is going to be a compulsory element of education. As I told you, I introduced the right to education, but I could do it only for 8 years. That is class 1 to class 8. Although I wanted to make it much longer, but because of that time in 2009, there was no fund available for this sector. Now, I am happy that National Education Policy has lauded my efforts of right to education, and they said that why it was done for 8 years. They noted that is a very great initiative, and to my great satisfaction, they have recommended to extend it to preschool. Now, look at preschool. Now, the formative years of a child's mind is up to age 6 to 8. The brain is developed. If you do not catch them young, preschool. Now, what is happening in preschool? Those who are rich, those are affluent, those who are in town dwellers, they are sending the children to the preschool. But preschool is being deprived of by the 50% of the families can't afford. So, therefore, I am happy. I congratulate the Education Commission for making preschool an integral part of education, and they want the right to education as a law, it's a fundamental right to extend it to preschool. If that is done, I think it will be great initiative for the children of the country. And second one, what I find is that we are a country which speak about a great Indian ethos and heritage, but we are forgetting it. So, the NEP has giving stress on the values, the heritage, ethos of India.
Yeah, right.
Combining it with the Western knowledge. So, both. And third point I find, again we sometimes give lip service to teachers. We call Guru Brahma, Guru Deva Maheshwara, all that. Guru Vishnu, Guru Brahma, Guru Deva Maheshwara, we say that. But it's a lip service.
Right.
Now, the NEP has said the best and brightest students must be teachers. The best, and mind you, best and bright. Today, if somebody does nothing, doesn't get anything, then he goes for a B.Ed course. Now, the NEP says no. The best and brightest must be teachers and must get the best service conditions like all the developed countries of the world. So, that will be, these three are major initiatives which NEP has taken and which will be make India into the highly educated society maybe in 10 years time.
Yeah, I think already that initiative has started, because we find earlier, bright students, mostly they were going for jobs in different, corporations, organizations and all. But now we find a lot of, bright persons, they are very much, interested in take up a job of teaching, maybe in universities, colleges or even schools. Definitely, we feel very happy about it. Another one thing again which I thought of asking you is, you have superannuated for more than 10 years now. Now, currently, how do you spend most of your time currently?
I have superannuated in 2009, but from that day till today I am working. So that way I am not retired in that sense. I became a management professor soon after retirement from the IAS. And I am continuing with the IIM Nagpur. I am now a visiting professor. I am working regularly. But regarding the time I spend, I do a lot of reading, a lot of writing, a lot of traveling, and I do a lot of gardening, flowers particularly. I have a beautiful small garden in my house. I spend a lot of time in the garden with the flowers. So that really is very invigorating for me.
Wonderful. Another thing, I thought of asking you is, since you teach, what is your specialization area?
I currently teach management topics, corporate governance, CSR, ethics, risk management, sustainable development.
They are very vital subjects indeed in management.
And ESG management, that is environmental, social and governance management is latest, which I have taken up as a challenge.
Okay, wonderful. As a senior bureaucrat and as you have spent decades in administration, what is your view on good governance?
First of all, good governance should be having minimum governance.
That's minimum.
Now we talk of laws. Everything, when something goes wrong, we think of making a law. It's wrong. India as a country has too many laws. The problem is that we need not add to new laws. In fact, we may reduce some of the laws, but implement the laws in true spirit, because we are very weak in enforcement of law, be it corruption, be it law violation, be it anything. Laws are very good, but not implemented. So weak enforcement is one of the biggest problems of the country, and we should attend to that. So then second thing is that honesty. Honesty must be one of the basic prerequisites of a civil servant. If a civil servant is not honest, I mean, dishonesty, corruption is like a tax on the poor. People said it's a tax on the poor. When a civil servant becomes dishonest, I think he has no business to be in the service. So we should have zero tolerance to corruption, and society should also not tolerate. Sometimes I feel society is very permissive. Society says, okay, fine, he has done something wrong, spare him. This is wrong.
Society shouldn't tolerate.
Zero tolerance. Should be
zero
there.
tolerance should be there. Another thing, which I would like to ask you is, I understand that you have written 2 very nice books. Could you please dilate on that, on the 2 books, very briefly, what you have written?
I have written by now about 7 books.
That's 7
but
books.
2 are.
I stand corrected. 7 books.
Two are really something very impressive. One is that I have written Antarctica Diary and other travel stories in Odia and in English. That has been very well received by the readers, and in both are going for second editions.
Wonderful.
And second book I wrote, which has just come out of the press, is waiting to be released in IIM Nagpur on the 1st of February, is Corporate Governance in 21st Century. That is going to be a landmark book in my opinion. Already it has got very, very rave reviews by the experts, and I think it will do very well by the readers and the professors, by the students, everybody who is dealing with, and the corporate leaders also.
Wonderful.
Those who are doing corporate governance should understand the meaning of this in 21st century.
So these are the 2 books, which you
many more books are written, but these are the 2
books in which you are focusing at the moment. Another one thing I would like to ask you is, what we have noticed, be it Government of India or be it the state government, we find, it is flooded with freebies, subsidies to the people. What may be the intention, but I think that is corroding the very, I would say, the financial texture of India, and I think sooner or later India will be in problem because of these freebies and subsidies. What is your opinion on that?
Well, very, very controversial question, but I must attempt to answer it. Now, as you know, we have resource constraint. Anything you do, we hear that we don't have money for that. Now, when I wanted to do midday meal scheme for the entire country, money was not there. But I introduced the midday meal scheme for school children all over the country. Now, this is helping everybody.
Okay.
What we should do is try to have schemes which are universal, not pick up somebody here and somebody there.
There should not be pick and choose.
And give them subsidy and freebies. You develop society as a whole.
Okay.
I mean, if you just think that, oh, if I give something to some group, they'll help me in my election.
Okay.
That's a one way, you can, but you are having a narrow point of view.
Narrow point.
Let the entire society get benefited. Like you are having an infrastructure development, everybody benefits.
Right.
Wi-Fi is not there. Let's say if you go to village, I mean children go to rooftop to get Wi-Fi. It need not benefit and it need not give it to one person, but Wi-Fi for the entire area. I am giving the example. That money can be deployed for social good for everybody. And not given to a pick and choose people. So that resource constraint, India is going to have resource constraint. So should we spend on individuals or for the group, for society? I think we should decide.
Community at large is more important.
Exactly. Society as a whole must benefit.
Another thing, which comes to my mind is, according to you, since you are a seasoned bureaucrat with a lot of decades of experience, how would you suggest about 3 major initiatives government should adopt to make India more developed and vibrant?
Now, we are proud Indians. I am also a proud Indian. Now, we want to make India become a global leader. I mean, you talked about Vishwa Guru.
Vishwa Guru.
Now, can we be Vishwa Guru? If we have to be Vishwa Guru, we do a lot of things. I cannot enlist all this. But 3 things that come to my mind, I would say, because I was myself in the education sector. Education. Today, we are spending hardly 3.5% of GDP on education. Every developed country in the world spends 6 or more than 6% of GDP on education. Now, the NEP 2020 has recommended that. So, we should think of having more investment in education, health also, rural development. These are the sectors, the social sector development must come as a number 1. Otherwise, today we have got 1/5 of our people who are illiterate. Then how can we be global power? The second thing that's come to mind is that we must develop the villages, the countryside. We must go for law enforcement. Our mentality of not respecting law is coming on the way, and that must go.
Law is coming on the way. For
enforcement. Enforcement of weak enforcement law is coming on the way. People. Suppose ease of doing business. Suppose you have got so many handicaps to do business. Nobody will come from other countries to invest in your country. Then entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship for producing and exporting. Now we are very weak in entrepreneurship. We must go for entrepreneurship development, produce and export to other countries. And third one, energy security. I think India is very poor in energy security. Now we don't have oil, the coal that we have is dirty. We should go for a massive renewable green energy, I mean solar. Otherwise you cannot.
In a big way, you are talking in a big way.
Energy security is there. We don't have energy security. We depend upon imports. I think we should give up imports of energy also. So these are some of the things, many more things are there, but to my mind, there are major initiatives we must take to make India a global power and a Vishwa Guru.
Thank you very much. Since you are an administrator with a lot of experience, you are a teacher, you are a trainer, I would just like to ask you one little simple question, and the question is, you must be having an agenda in mind that during my lifetime I will be doing this, 1, 2, 3, 4, you must have had some agenda in your mind. Now, at the moment I would like to ask you, what is your unfinished agenda which you would like to accomplish in the years ahead, and how do you plan to accomplish it?
Thank you. I am still continuing with my agenda for education. as I said that preschool education must be universally available, must be part of law. And what I did is from RTE is from class 1 to class 8. So, preschool 3 years and after 8 4 years. So, India should have a schooling, every child in India should have a schooling of 15 years time, 8 years which is RT giving. RT must be extended to 3 years before school and 4 years after 8. So, 15 years of schooling is a must. So, I am championing the cause of education even now.
Achha.
Second aspect which I am championing is sustainable development goals. All the 17 goals are very, very important.
Okay.
And we should every citizen has a duty to champion the United Nations SDGs numbering 17. Now, these are, one can say, oh, it doesn't concern me. No, everybody is concerned about it.
Right.
Like, example, your energy. I should do my own audit. I should champion the audit of everybody. How much you are doing, how much you are spending on energy. Every day life of your life you are spending energy. So, that should be self-audited by everybody.
Okay,
like, these are the championing of the cause of SDGs is something which I am doing.
Very true, very true.
I am doing and I also keep on doing it.
Right, very true. Now, we have come at the fag end of our discussion, and I am sure the viewers must have enjoyed it very much. Now, I would request you for an inspirational message to our channel viewers, particularly the young.
Well, thank you very much. It was nice participating in the program. Now, one thing I will say as a message that as you know, India is the youngest country in the world. Youth population is the real strength of it. If India is to become a Vishwa Guru, it is because of the youth that India can be. Now, message that I will give to the youth is that give back to society. Society has given you so much. You may say, I didn't get this, I didn't get, but look at what society has given you.
Yeah.
So, therefore, society is also looking at you that can you give something back to me, because I also need your help.
Right.
So, I would ask every person, young people particularly, to do a self-audit. How much society has given you and how much you are giving back to society.
Wonderful.
In the audit, if you find that you are taking more from society than giving back, then perhaps there is something wrong.
So, the balance needs
to be. Don't
be
be a defaulter, don't be a loony.
Don't.
So, therefore, give back to society more than what you got from society. That is the message. Ultimately, in one line, be good, do good. That is the message I will give.
Thank you so much, Professor Rath. We had a wonderful time with you. Dhanyavad, Darshaka Bandhu.
Namaskar. Dhanyavad.